seems as if there are tools that make it easier to get people to behave in ways that are inhumane, that are hateful, that are violent toward other human beings. There are charismatic leaders who can use those tools and tactics to convince people to do things that are contrary to how they might have acted under other circumstances.
They're bringing drugs, they're bringing crime, they're rapists.
Why do you hate us? Because we're Mexicans? We're honest people right here.
Yeah, rapists.
Rapists?
And also there's media that we can receive a kind of slanted, propagandistic view of the world.
Donald Trump's not going to let illegal aliens come to the country and murder our women.
Because it happens all the time, and sadly, people are murdered all the time by illegals.
Donald Trump is turning this nation into Nazi Germany.
There was a time when we thought the role of the media as being kind of a neutral dispenser of facts, and that has changed. We've seen our media become more partisan and polarized, speaking to one side or the other. Extreme positions have become the norm. Rumors and conspiracy theories reinforce our divisions and stoke our deepest fears. Dehumanizing propaganda works by amplifying our fears and hatred. And in the age of the internet, we're bombarded by so much information, it's harder than ever to know what's true and what's false.
The suspect described how he came to embrace racism through online forums.
Viewpoints that were not tolerable in polite society can find an open forum on the internet, and that like-minded people who might have been separated by geography are now just a couple of clicks away from each other. On June 17th, 2015, Dylan Roof, a 21-year-old white man from South Carolina, entered the sanctuary of the Emmanuel AME Church in Charleston.
A hate crime investigation into a deadly shooting at the historically black Emmanuel AME Church in Charleston.
Roof joined the Bible study, prayed with them, and then shot 9 members of the congregation.
I would say woke me up, would be the Trayvon Martin case. I kept hearing about this kid, and I'm like, eventually I decided to, look his name up, just type him into Google, you know what I'm saying?
I want to know, is there somebody else involved? Is there somebody that nurtures you and led you down this path? Or was this just Dylan?
It's pretty much just the internet, Yeah, all the information's there for you.
And he does a Google search on the keywords black on white crime. He was led to all of these websites that look like they might be credible information sites. What he found was the Council of Conservative Citizens comes up as the first website. Now this website, it's what scholars call cloaked websites. These are websites that look like they might be credible information, but you just scratch the surface and it's a white supremacist, white power propaganda site. The challenge is that the search engines really hold an authoritative place in our culture. What happens is you go to something like a search engine and you try to find out what's the weather, something banal, and it gives you the answer. And it's usually pretty accurate. And that reinforces our trust that if we look for something more complex, like black on white crime, it's also going to be authoritative and give us the exact right answer. And so now you have, I think, this kind of low-grade warfare that's happening in our information landscape of disinformation and propaganda around fomenting hate.
Algorithm-based internet platforms like Google Search don't manufacture hate, but they help hate spread more quickly and efficiently than it might otherwise. Propaganda can spread on the internet quickly and effectively, but leaders with an agenda have always found a way to manipulate their followers. The demagogue playbook is always define an enemy and then cast yourself as the person who is willing to protect people from that enemy.
There is a lot of Moroccan scum in Holland who makes the streets unsafe.
We have no idea who these people are, where they come from. I always say, Trojan horse, watch what's going to happen, folks. It's not going to be pretty.
These politicians promote a nightmare scenario, hordes of foreign invaders, to evoke hatred and fearfulness. They ignore the complexities of the global refugee crisis. They don't let facts get in their way. All over the world, these politicians are harnessing the media and using the internet to provoke divisiveness and intolerance.
Skazienia tylko w polskich rękach. To jest nasze narodowcy transport.
Nous ne voulons pas vivre sous le joug ou la menace du fondamentalisme islamiste.
Yakında Avrupa'da din savaşları da başlar.
Do you think Islam is at war with the West?
I think Islam hates us.
Our hopes for peaceful coexistence and the future of our communities depends on our willingness to take these threats seriously. And above all, our willingness to think critically.